Hey folks, welcome to our next exit. Well, it's October. Winter's a-coming. Today's really September 30th, and we're putting out our monthly expense report. And so I need to take a couple of minutes and kind of explain our lifestyle. First of all, this is every penny we spend, except for a couple of categories, which is one, we didn't downsize whenever we went full-time. We put all of our household furnishings and stuff in a couple of storage sheds. And we spend about $3,500 a year on that expense. That's probably our biggest mistake since we decided to transition into the full-time RV lifestyle. We probably should have sold everything because we're having such a good time we don't know when we're going to quit. And then we don't include anything that we give away as far as gifts or charity or any of that kind of stuff. So except for that, everything else is in here. We only have three major assets that come up in the RV lifestyle. That's our Thousand Trails membership. We purchased our membership for a used membership from Campground Membership Outlet. If you want to know about that, I'll put a link up here to tell you how that works. So we have our Thousand Trails membership. We have our motorhome. It's a 2007 Monaco Camelot 42-foot Class A diesel pusher. That's paid for, so that's not in here. And then we have our car, and that's paid for, that we tow behind the diesel. So all that stuff is paid for except for the dues, on the annual dues on the Thousand Trails in our Trails collection. We include that, and then obviously maintenance and fuel and upkeep on the car and the coach. But there's nothing in here at all about the purchase. So you could do that several ways. That's just the way we chose to do it. So let's start out here, right here, the month of September. We drove almost 150 miles, 146 miles. We moved 3 times. We started out in Chehalis, then we went over to, and that's in Washington, Thousand Trails RV Campground, then over to Long Beach. That's in Washington also, Thousand Trails, and then down about 30 miles to Seaside Campground, and then that's down in Oregon. And we moved over to Whaler's Rest, where we're at now. So we drove 146 miles, moved 3 times, spent all 30 nights in Thousand Trails Campground, so we paid no campground fees at all during the month. This column here, on this spreadsheet, to tell you how this works, this whole column here is the month that we're in right now, September. And then the next column over is the 12-month total, the last 12 months. So from September all the way back to October of 2018. And then this column here is this total divided by 12. So this is what we spent this month. This is what we're average spending for the last 12 months. This column over here is, we've been doing this since June of 2017. So this column is the monthly average since we've been living the full-time RV lifestyle for the last 28 months. So that kind of gives you how the spreadsheet works. We do keep track of 2 line items. Our diesel cost, all of our diesel purchases go in, and then we divide by the number of days in the month to give us our diesel cost per night for every day of the month. And then the same thing with our campground fees. The campground fees cost per night, average. We spent $270 on diesel fuel, and that equaled and that equates to $9.01 a day, average cost for diesel fuel for the month of September. For the last 12 months, we averaged, for the last 12 months, we've averaged $11.21 a day for diesel fuel. And for the lifetime of our adventure, $11.40 in diesel fuel. Average cost, $11.40 in diesel fuel. Campsite fees, $83, and that's strictly our Thousand Trails dues. And that's strictly our dues for Thousand Trails. We pay $600 We pay $628 for 1,000 trails, $215 for trails collection, and $150 for Resort Parks International. We add all three of those up, divide by 12, and then we allocate $83 a month in our campsite fees. And then if we stay in a KOA or national park, we add that in for that month. But this month we didn't have any. So that equates to $2.77 a night for campsite fees, which is just pretty sweet. For the last 12 months, we've averaged $8.93. And then for the lifetime, $8.16. So well under $10 a day. And that's $10 is our objective, to stay under that. And we're making that. Motorhome repairs. The only thing we had on motorhome repairs was at Long Beach. They put one pedestal, and then they have two RVs going this way and two RVs going this way, and you share one pedestal, a little cement pad with 4 inlets for your sewer. And so we obviously didn't have enough sewer hose, so we had to run down and get another 10-foot section of sewer hose. It's really crowded, and the only reason to go there is you're only a couple hundred yards away from the ocean and a great beach. So we like going there, but it is definitely crowded. And then one great thing about Long Beach, we met a couple that watch our YouTube channels, Charles and Abby. And we went out to dinner with them a couple times. They're super nice folks. We saw them again at Seaside. And then we just saw them yesterday here at Whaler's Rest. I think we're going to go to the Crab Shack on Wednesday. Auto and gas repairs. Auto, all we've got is just car. We don't have any extra expense there. $89 for fuel. And then for insurance, we have on the RV is $1,550 for full-timers insurance, $850 for our car insurance, and $280 for we have $1 million umbrella policy that costs $280 a year. So all three of those we add up, divide by 12, and that gives us $223 a month we allocate for RV and car insurance. And we get asked quite often, who do we use for our insurance? And it's Miller's RV Insurance, and they've got a great website. It's millersrvinsurance.com. They've got a form you can fill out, and then they get back with you and they'll give you a quote. They put us on with Prudential, and that's who we're paying these prices to. Groceries, liquor, cleaning supplies, paper supplies, all of that goes in one line item we call groceries. We spent $990 in September. We're averaging $934 for the last 12 months, and then for the lifetime, $885. We drink a glass of wine every day, and I occasionally have a little shot of Jack Daniels. We probably spend $100 or $150 a month on liquor. So if you don't drink, you could obviously lower that down. But there's a lot of things in there, not just groceries. Anything we buy in a grocery store goes in this line item. Dining out, $312. That pretty much speaks for itself. We're averaging $320 in lifetime, $272. Internet and cell phone. We have our internet comes from our Verizon cell phone service. We have 2 jetpacks and 2 cell phones, and we just added an Apple Watch this month. As I mentioned, we don't count gifts that we give. We don't put that in here, but Pearl bought me a Apple Watch Series 4, and then I bought her Apple Watch Series 5. And the mainest thing for getting Apple Watches is they'll vibrate on your arm and say, hey buddy, it's time to get up, take a walk, get some exercise, get some more miles, burn some calories. And it tells you about your sleep, your heart beats, and it just has a lot of health features that makes it pretty nice. But anyway, that added $10 to our phone and internet. We have 2 jetpacks. One of them is 15 gigabytes, and after 15 gigabytes it slows down, gets throttled back. Both the cell phones have a hotspot feature that gives us 15 gigabytes of high-speed data, but then they slow down. But we have one jetpack that gives us unlimited internet, and it works just really great. So the total of about 2 jetpacks, 2 phones, and the smartwatch is $225 a month. DirecTV, 97 bucks. I've talked about that in the past. I'm going to get that lowered down, but I haven't done it yet. Medical, we're in our 70s. We're both on Medicare. We pay $135 a piece for Medicare Part B, so that's $270. Then we pay $60 a piece for Medicare Part D. That's our prescription drugs. And then we have Part F, Medigap insurance. Part G. And we have Part G, Medigap insurance. And Pearl pays $115 a month, and I pay $122 a month. And I've got $32 in medications in here, but that was from last month, so that's not accurate. That just got copied and pasted, so I'll have to back that out. So minus the 32 would be $535 would be our medical. Pet care, $80. We had Tinker groomed, cost 70 bucks, and then we bought, since we didn't usually our dog food we buy at the grocery store, and it comes out of groceries. We bought it, but this month we bought it at Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they have some great dog foods, and occasionally we buy her dog food from Tractor Supply. It's pretty high quality stuff. Recreation and hobbies, we didn't spend any money. We've spent this whole month making YouTube videos, and then we met up with probably 4 or 5 different subscribers, and we've had just a wonderful time getting to know people, going to dinner, cooking dinners, and being right on the ocean. That's been most of our entertainment, is going out to the ocean and going out to eat. Computer hardware, we had to buy some ink for the printer. That's all that was. Clothing, Pearl told me a lot of my shirts are getting wore out on the collar. She said, but order some more shirts. So I like those t-shirts from Duluth, and they're extra long, so I ordered a few of those. In mail, we didn't have any mail sent, didn't have anything important. So for the month of September, that's $3,145 for the month of September, which is a good month. That makes, for the last 12 months, we've averaged $4,800. And the reason that's such a big gap, you can look across here, most of these are right around the 2, 3, and some 4s in here, but this 13 really whacked us up. That was a $10,000 maintenance we had at Lazy Days. You can see all of those. And that's something, I'm going to show you a little bit of all the extra expenses that we've spent. That can jump up and bite anybody anytime, these emergencies. So you got to budget for that. Hopefully you don't have to budget as much as we've spent. So since we've been on our transitioned into the RV lifestyle, we've averaged $50,000 a year for the 28 months. For the last 12 months, we've averaged $58,000, and that's mostly because we went to Florida and stayed at some real expensive campgrounds, and then that $10,000 with Lazy Days. And here is just something I've been showing just a little bit. This is not everything that's extra, but the Lazy Days expense and the Lazy Days expense, that $10,000, the YouTube channel, buying the drone, and several cameras, we have spent $22,800. There's also some expenses here on our car. I made several mistakes, expensive mistakes with our auxiliary braking system and our front end alignment. that most people are not going to have these expenses. You're not going to spend that kind of money on YouTube channel and have big diesel breakdowns. But you figure those, since we've been on the road, that average, that's $800 a month that's those expenses listed there has taken our expenses up to. For a year, that's almost $10,000 a year. That's $9,700 a year we've got on these expenses. If we didn't do a YouTube channel, didn't go to Lazy Days, and I didn't make those mistakes, burning up our brakes and go so long with the front end out of line, we would have, for the time of our full-time, we would be averaging $40,500 living the full-time RV lifestyle. That's a lot of difference than $50,000. I think if your finances have got you anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000, this is probably a lifestyle that you could take on. If you don't have a lot of debts. Any debts, or if you're buying a motorhome and you're financing that, obviously that would go on top. But I think real easy, you can do it for $40,000 if you don't have any emergencies, but you need to have an emergency fund to take care of that, because you're going to have some kind of emergencies. You look at all the YouTube channels, and eventually everybody does a couple of videos on this busted and that busted, and usually it's not $10,000, but it's something. So that pretty much covers the month of September. I hope this helps you with your budgeting process, trying to figure out if you can live this lifestyle. If you'd like a copy of this spreadsheet, it's not this exact spreadsheet, it's up through December of 2018. I'll send you that copy, and it'll be populated with our numbers since we've been doing this. And then on the second page, it has a blank spreadsheet where you can type in your estimated budget numbers, and that way it'll let you figure out a budget number, see if you think this is the lifestyle that you want to do. So play with the numbers. If you want a copy of the spreadsheet, here's our email, bobrpearl@gmail.com. Send us an email and say, I want your expense spreadsheet. Don't just say I want your spreadsheet, because we've got a half a dozen spreadsheets to send out, and I don't know what you want. So send me an email, send us an email saying you'd like a copy of our expense spreadsheet, and I'll reply to your email with a copy of it. So that pretty much covers the month of September. What are you looking at?
You.
So that pretty much covers the month of September, folks. I hope this gave you some insight into the lifestyle. Until we see you again, keep your wheels rolling, stay safe. We'll see you at the next exit. Bye-bye, folks.
Just yet. Don't wanna be spilling my guts to someone I just met. But I say this much, I got a real good feeling. Yes, I do. Real good feeling.
Probably for you guys, most of you, this is old hash, but I got to run through real quick how this works.
For most of you, this is old hash. Is that what you said?
That's what I said, sir.
Old hash.
Yeah. Military guys will get it.